Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Teacher Masero, and today I'm going to show you how to complete the table of values, how to draw a graph using your coordinate in that table, and how to answer the questions that you are given, right? So the other ones you will have to draw a tangent, sure. So I will show you how to draw a tangent and answer questions using that tangent, okay? Even how to manipulate other questions. So if you want to learn that, tune in. So we're going to be doing 0580 paper for 2 May June 2011. Okay, so let's start with completing the table of values. We have x squared minus 3 over x. Y is equals to x squared minus 3 over x. You can see that for negative 1, 0.5 and 1 we're supposed to fill, right? The other ones are given, right? So we are just going to say our x is negative 1. So we're going to have negative 1 squared minus 3 over negative 1. So we got 4, right? So negative 1, we have negative 1, 4, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and we got negative 5.75. We can see that other numbers are rounded to 1 decimal place. So it means that we're going to round to 1 decimal place our number. So this is going to be negative 5.8. Negative 5.8. And if we have 1, we have negative 2. Okay. So we managed to complete our table of values. Now we are going to plot. We have x-axis and y-axis, right? X-axis and y-axis. So when you are plotting, you are supposed to understand the intervals. You can see that we have small boxes and a big box, right? From here is 0 and here is 1. You are supposed to understand what small box means, right? Small box means 0.1. If you don't know how to get that, just say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 small boxes. So we are just going to say 1 divided by 10. And then you're going to get 0.1. So every small box in your x-axis is 0.1. What about every small boxes in your y-axis? You can see that we have 2 and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So we're just going to say 2 divided by 5. And just a small box is 0.4 in your y-axis. Okay, so now we're going to plot. The first one, you have negative 3, 10. Negative 3, 10. Negative 3 is in your x-axis and 10 is in your y-axis. So the first coordinate is going to be here. So when drawing, make sure that you plot all your coordinates, okay? You plot all your coordinates. And after plotting all your coordinates, we're going to join them. Using freehand. Do not use a ruler here, okay? So let's join our coordinates. After joining your coordinates, you're going to have something like this, right? Now we're going to answer questions using our graph. The first one, use your graph to solve x squared minus 3 over x equals to 7. You use your graph, okay? Do not use working like algebra or make x the subject. Don't do that, okay? You use your graph to solve for this. Okay, now we are going to compare this with this. Okay, we can see that y is equals to x squared minus 3 over x. We have x squared minus 3 over x, so it means that this thing is called y. So we have y equals to 7. We're going to draw the line y equals to 7, and where the curve meets that line, that's our answers. Okay, so let's draw the line y equals to 7. It's supposed to cross the y-axis at 7. Okay, so the line y equals to 7 is supposed to cross the y-axis at 7. We have 6 here, 6.4, 6.8, 6.8 is here, so 7 is here. Okay, so our 7 is going to be here. We just so this is the line y equals to 7. Okay, so to answer this we have 1, 2, 3 answers. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. Okay, where the line intersect the curve, those are our answers. Okay, so we're going to start with this one. So we can see that it's here. We just draw the line going down. Okay, where they intersect. So we have negative 2.1235. We have negative 2.12, negative 2.35. Okay, the next one, we're going to take this one. We go down, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 0.42 somewhere there, negative 0.42. Our answers are not going to be the same. But you are supposed to have a certain range. Okay, your answers are supposed to range from this to this, right? If they are out of the range, your answer is going to be wrong. So make sure that your curve is accurate so that your answers will be on the range of answers that the markers are expecting. Okay, so the last one is this one. We have 2.5 is here, 2.5, 2.6, 8. I think this one is 2.8. You just go down, right? So we have 2.8 or 2.82, right? Our answers are not going to be the same. Just where they intersect, just draw something going down, and then you take your answer there. Okay, so we managed to solve C. Now D says draw the tangent to the curve where x equals to negative 2. X is equals to negative 2. X is equals to negative 2 here. Okay, so we're going to draw the tangent. It's supposed to touch negative. It's supposed to touch the curve at negative 2. Right. Our tangents are not going to be the same, but there's a range for our answers. Okay. So this is the tangent. The tangent is supposed to be outside your curve. It cannot get inside. If it's inside, it's not a tangent. It's wrong. Okay. So this is my tangent. And I'm going to use my tangent to find the gradient. They said use the tangent to calculate the estimate of the gradient of the curve where x equals to -2, where x equals to -2. We know that the formula for finding gradient is m is equals to difference in y divided by difference in x. Okay, so we're going to take two coordinates from our tangent. The first one, just take -2 is -2, 5, 5, and look for the next one that you're going to use along -2, 5, 5, and look for the other one along your tangent. So the gradient is y2 f4 minus 5.5 all over -1.5 minus -2. Okay, now we're going to find this in our calculator. f4 minus 5.5 divided by -1.5 minus -2, and you get -3 as our gradient. -3. Okay, so gradient is -3. Your gradient is supposed to be between -4 to -2.5. It's supposed to range here. Okay, if it's this side or this side, just know that it's wrong. It's supposed to be between -4 and -2.5. Okay, now let's move to the next question. This one is from paper 420580, October, November 2015, and we are doing number 4. Okay, so we have f of x is equals to x minus 1 all over 2x squared. We are given table of values. You are given the table of values and you are supposed to complete it. Okay, so to make sure that you are going to be punching your calculator correctly, you can just check with the given value, like -2. You can see that we have the answer for -2, but let's check if we're going to get -2.1. Okay, so we have x is -2. We have -2 minus 1 over 2 times -2 squared. Let's check if we're going to get -2.1. See, we have -2.125, and they rounded it to 1 decimal place, and it became -2.1. Okay, so it depends which calculator you're using. Sometimes you'll be forced to use brackets. Okay, but if you're using this one, just use this. Okay, use this. But if you're using sharp, make sure that you punch correctly and you use brackets. Okay, now let's complete the table. We have -1 here. This is -1. So we're just going to say -1 minus 1 all over 2 times -1 squared. We're going to get -1.5. Right, we're going to get -1.5. What about 1? What about 1? 1, we are going to have 0.5. Okay, 0.5. After this, you are supposed to complete or draw your graph using this table of values. Okay, just plot your coordinate, then join. Okay, so I'm going to plot. Okay, so plotting, you're supposed to understand the pattern or to understand what one small box means. Okay, so this one you can see that this is 0.1, 0.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0.8, then 1. Okay, what about in your y-axis? You can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. We have 5 boxes. we're just going to say 1 divided by 5, and one small box in your y-axis is 0.2, right? When you know those things, it will be easy for you to plot your graph. Okay, this is our curve, this is our graph, right? See, use your graph to solve equation f of x equals to 1. F of x equals to 1. So I'm going to draw the line that crosses the y-axis at 1. You draw it, right? After you draw it, where it intersects your graph, that's your answer. Okay, so you have 1.1, 2, 3. So our answer is 1.3. Okay, your answer is supposed to range from 1.2 to 1.35. If it's out of the range, it's wrong. Okay, it's supposed to be between 1.25 and 1.35. Now let's answer D. Let's answer D. There's only one negative integer value, k, for which f of x equals to k has only one solution for all real x. Write down this value of k. It's an integer. Okay, it's a whole number. It is negative. Okay, so they're supposed to have one solution. Here we have one solution, but it's positive, right? They said it's supposed to be negative. If we cross here, it's a negative integer, but we have 3 solutions. You can see that we have 1, 2, 3. This one, you're supposed to have 1. If you make a line, make sure that you have one solution. If you make a line at -1 here, if we make y equals -1, you can see that we have one solution, and -1 is negative. So it's a negative integer. So our k is equals to -1. Okay. The equation 2x minus 1 over 2x squared minus 2 is equals to 0 can be solved using the graph of y equals to f of x and a straight line graph. Find the equation of this straight line. Y equals to f of x. Y is equals to our f of x. Y is equals to our f of x. Our f of x is x minus 1 over 2x squared. That's our f of x minus 1 over 2x squared. Okay, you take it from here. And this one we have 2x minus 1 over 2x squared minus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, so we're going to make sure that on our left side we are left with this x minus 1 over 2x squared. Okay, the other ones we're just going to move them to our right. Okay, you can see that here we have x and here we have 2x. So let's take another x to the other side so that we'll be left with x. Okay, so we have x minus 1 over 2x squared equals to negative x plus 2. You also take this negative to the other side so that it can be positive 2. You can see that this side we're just left with this. Make sure that your left side you are left with this. So this one is called y. So we have y is equals to negative x plus 2, or y equals to 2 minus x. That's our straight line, right? Here they just said find the equation of the straight line. We managed to find it. Y equals to 2 minus x, or negative x plus 2. Okay, when we get 2 on the grid, draw this straight line and solve the equation this. Okay, so we're going to draw the straight line, and where that straight line and the graph meet, that's our answer. Okay, and it's 3 marks. So it means that we're going to draw y equals to 2 minus x first. Okay, we have y, which is 2 minus x. We're looking for our y. There we have our x's. Let's just take it. It's a straight line, so you can just look for 2 coordinates, then plot. Okay, so we're going to have 2 minus -1, we have 3. -1, we have 3. And what about 1? 2 minus 1 is 1. 1, 1. Okay, it's a straight line, so we can easily plot those 2 coordinates, then join. Okay, we have -1, 3, -1, 3, -1, 3 is here, and 1, 1, 1, 1 is here. Okay, so it's a straight line. We're just going to join 1, 1, -1, 3. Okay, so this is our line. We're going to find out where it intersects the graph. Okay, you can see that they meet here, which is 1.1, 1.18, somewhere there. So our answer here is going to be 1.18. Okay, for your answer to be correct, it's supposed to be between 1.15 and 1.25. Okay, so my answer is correct. So the code is 058042, October, November 2010. Okay, so the first thing, we're supposed to complete the table of values. Okay, we have f of x is equals to 2 divided by x minus x squared. So let's use -1. No, let's use -2 first to check if we're going to get -5. Okay, 2 divided by -2, -2 minus -2 squared is -5. So now we're going to use -1, -1, so you get -3. What about 0.5? -0.5, 0.5, -0.5. We're going to get 4.25, -4.25. Okay, 2 -2 negative 3. Now let's look at our graph. We can see that one small box in your x-axis is at 0.1, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 2, right? This is 2. So 2 divided by 10 is 0.2. So one box this side is 0.2, okay? 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, then 1 here, okay? You can see this side, one box is 0.1, this side, one box is 0.2. Now, you can plot your coordinate. So the code is 058042 October, November 2010, okay? So the first thing, we're supposed to complete the table of values, okay? We have f of x is equals to 2 divided by x minus x squared. So let's use -1. No, let's use -2 first to check if we're going to get -5. Okay, 2 divided by -2. -2 minus -2 squared is -5. So you get -3. What about 0.5? -0. We're going to get 4.25. -4.25. We're going to get -3. Now, let's look at our graph. We can see that one small box in your x-axis is at 0.1, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 2, right? This is 2. So 2 divided by 10 is 0.2. So one box this side is 0.2, okay? 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, then 1 here, okay? You can see this side, one box is 0.1, this side, one box is 0.2. Now, you can plot your coordinate. We have our coordinates, now we can join. We managed to join our graph. Okay, so we have something like this. We have something like this, okay? Now see, use your graph to solve f of x is equals to 2. We're going to draw the line y equals to 2. It's supposed to cross the y-axis as 2, and where they intersect with the curve, that's our answer, okay? We have 2 here, okay? So where they intersect is here. 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.78, 0.78. Your answer is supposed to range between 0.7 and 0.85, okay? So 0.7 to 0.85. Your answer is supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be out of the limit. If it's out of the limit, it means your answer is wrong. Find the value for k so that f of x equals to k has 3 solutions. 3 solutions, okay? If we have y equals to -2 or k equals to -2, we're going to have one solution, this one. Even at the top is just one solution. But here we are looking for 3 solutions. If we make a line here, we're going to have 3 solutions here, here, and here. Even here, we're going to have here, here, and here. Even here, 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 and here. Okay? So find a value for k so that f of x equals to k has 3 solutions, just one value, right? So k equals to -4. K equals to -4. Then you are done with Roman figure 2. Just write one answer. It's either you write k equals to -4 or you write k equals to -6, okay? D. Draw a suitable line on the grid and use your graphs to solve the equation 2 over x minus x squared equals to 5x, right? We have f of x is equal to 2 over x minus x squared is f of x, right? So this whole thing, we're just going to call it y equals to 5x because it's the same as f of x. Y equals to 5x. Now we're going to draw the line y equals to 5x, okay? Y equals to 5x, or just write y here, or just write y. So it's a straight line, so just come up with any 2 coordinates that you like. It's y equals to 5x, right? 5 times -2 is -10. So we have -10, and let's use 1. 1 is 5. It's a straight line. You just need 2 coordinates. So -2, -10, -2, -10 is here. Then 1, 5. 1, 5 is here. Then you join them, and where they cross your graph, that's your answer. Okay, let me join them. I managed to join my 2 coordinates, and here is my line y is equals to 5x. Now I'm going to solve 2 over x minus x squared equals to 5x, okay? So where they intersect with our graph, that's our answers. So here we have, we just go that side. We can see that 0.567, we have 0.7. Negative 0.7, and the first one, this one is supposed to be between negative 0.6 to negative 0.75, okay? We're not going to allow negative 0.8. Now let's check this one. This one, if you go down, you can see that we have 0.5, 0.6. Our answer is 0.6. Your answer there is supposed to be between 0.55 and 0.65. Okay? If it's out of the range, it's wrong. Now let's get to E. E. Draw the tangent to the graph of y equals to f of x at the point where x equals to -2. After that, use it to calculate an estimate for the gradient of y equals to f of x when x equals to 2. So gradient, we know that is difference in y1, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we're going to come up with the two coordinates, then use them to find our gradient. Okay, x1, y1, x2, y2. So -2, we have -2 when x is equals to -2. X is equals to -2 here. Okay, so we're going to draw the tangent here and then take two coordinates from the tangent. Okay, your tangent is not supposed to get inside your curve. It's supposed to just touch your curve. So the coordinate there, we have -2, -5, -2, -5, and then the other one, we're just going to take it from the line. Make sure that you always take this one that you are given, -2, -5, and the other one from the line. Okay, so the other one from the line, let's take this one. Okay, I think this is -1.5, -1.5, comma 3, -3. Okay, -3. So we're going to have -3 minus -5 divided by -1.5 minus -2. So let's punch and get our answer. So we're going to have -3 minus -5 divided by -1.5 minus -2, and our answer is 4. Our gradient is 4. Your gradient should range between 2.7 and 4.3. So it's supposed to be from 2.7 to 4.3. That's when your gradient will be correct. Okay, so make sure that you draw your tangent neatly like this. Okay, so we are done with this one.